on our way up to go do Avalon's first bandage change. This will be a gruesome video. I have no clue what it looks like. All I know is they did cut off extra dead skin from when she sliced it. It killed the skin, obviously. So it could be pretty gory, and it could be not. But I know that her knee had a big gash on it, and her chest, that part won't be on there because they didn't wrap that. And then the second part is down by her cornet band, and that was pretty deep just in itself, so I don't know if they actually cut that extra off or not. They just said they cut off extra skin. So next clip may be pretty gory. We're on our way up to give her medicine, cold hose her leg, change bandage. This is gonna be every bandage change into one video, how it started, how it ended. We will see. What you doing, lady? All right, let's grab her and get that bandage off and changed. All right, now is the time. If you guys are squeamish, click off now, because I have no clue what this is gonna look like, how bad, how good. I got her medicine sucking. I'm not gonna show you guys that. You guys have seen that in the last video 2 times. So let's get this bandage off, my girl. I don't have any bandages or anything ready beside me because I do have to cold hose it. So get this bandage off. There it is. Easy. Is the other wound. And her ankle, I don't know if you guys can tell, is a little bit swollen. So let's get her cold hosed. Okay, the way her leg smells makes me literally want to gag right now. I didn't even realize the wound on the other side that they cut. I guess in the gist of it, I just didn't realize that small one on the side. Well, when I found her, you guys seen how I found her, there was a lot of damage, so I'd be surprised if I seen every single wound. It is so hot up here. So yeah, I'm letting the water run for a minute because I don't want to burn her. We're going to cold hose all of her wounds. And I think I am going to put, even though the vet said I didn't have to, I have some spray. It's literally 99 cents, but it's a good foaming spray. I've used it on our kitten that had ringworm. It's made for open wounds and gashes and cuts, and I have used it when our dog got a cut on his leg, so it works fantastic. And then I think what I'm going to do, I'll show you guys. I'm just trying to let that water run as long as possible before I get her, because I just want to burn her, especially on an open cut wound. Ouch. So, plan is, where did my spray go? I need to clean my trailer. It is so dirty. Okay, here's the spray. It's Noble Outfitters. Noble Outfitter Wound Care. Skin abrasions, post-surgical sites. So they cut that, so there you go. Staph rashes, ringworm, rain rot, mange, cinch fungus, scratches, other wounds. Animal safe, dye-free, non-toxic, biodegradable, and food grade safe. This is it. So I'm going to spray that on there after I cold hose her. Alright, so initially I was going to use this little sprayer that's right here. That's good and cold. But now I'm not going to, seeing how gross these look. I don't want to add a lot of pressure. You can see how swollen her poor leg is. But look at that. Oh my god. That looks bad. Alright. I'm just gonna, easy, hey. I'm just gonna start down here. Oh yeah, baby, I know, I'm so sorry. That, I know, Mom, I'm sorry. The vet did say she's gonna have some nasty scars. That's alright, I got a bunch of scars too. Kind of bad thing to say, but if you don't have scars, are you living life? And I'm definitely, even though she only has a few wounds on this leg, I'm gonna cold hose the entire leg for the swelling. There you go. I know, I'm sorry. I know. She says, ouchie, Mom. Okay. And then there's this one on this side. I don't even know what you guys can see. It's so bright out here. Good girl. Alright. Let's cold hose her chest. I know. Ouchie. I'm sorry. There you go. These ones I'm not too worried about. They didn't even cut the skin, but still, they are puffy, swollen. I'm just gonna cold hose. But this cold hose feels so good on a nice hot day. I'm not gonna go for your leg yet. I'm gonna give you a break on your leg because it's the worst spot. I know. See how she's kind of sucking in? It hurts. Sorry, see her sucking right there. Sorry, Mama. I know. I'm trying to be gentle. I'm trying. I know. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, sorry, lady. There's that. And she's got some on her butt. Her butt didn't get as bad, thankfully. Oh, I know. You guys stand still. And then there's this cut right here. I don't know what you guys can see. It is so bright. My filming is horrendous right now. Easy. Good girl. Good girl. She's got a cut on here. I know, I'm just trying to help keep it clean. And then her biggest cut is back there that they didn't cut. But she also has this one. Whoa. So this one, I don't know if you guys can really see, it's kind of deep. I think they were trying to stitch that one too. I assume they were trying to stitch that one. It looks like she has one right there. Just trying to keep them clean. And I'm going to spray that spray everywhere, but that leg is the only thing that's going to get wrapped. So here's this cut. Yeah, Mama, I know, I'm sorry. She is definitely fed up with me. Well, I went to give her medicine and she backed up a few steps. And so I just tried to encourage her forward by very lightly kind of pulling on the lead rope, and that was enough to set her back. She backed up about 4 or 5 steps and reared. Thank God she stepped back, otherwise she would have came back down on the wheel well of the trailer. I get it. I mean, it's got to be painful. It's got to be uncomfortable. And having a syringe in your mouth every day, it's not fun. But now, I'm going to show you guys. I don't know if you guys can even tell. This is why I hosed off other spots too. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but right here, that's not water leaking. That's blood from me spraying all the dirt off. And then there's some wounds under here that I couldn't quite get. She was just getting too anxious. So, here is what I'm putting on her leg. Her leg's mostly dry because it's pretty hot out. So, it foams. And it's not going to hurt her. So I'm going to let that dry before I put the gauze on. She's got, man, the more I sit here with her, the more I see more. This one though, her chest, oh my god. And these ones I don't care how long they take to set because there's no bandage going on them. So I found these little mesh pads that I had in my emergency kit that I bought, not the one I made. So it's gonna go cotton, and then mesh pad, sterile red bandage, and then vet wrap, and then if I need a little piece of tape, I'll put some tape on there. And the only reason I'm doing that is because it's supposed to last her 3 days. They're in a very dusty pasture. We're actually moving them to a different pasture in a few days. We're just waiting for their water trough to get a little bit lower because it is 300 gallons. It's half full, kind of hard to dump, and the cork on the bottom of it doesn't want to come out. So just want to make sure this bandage is going to hold up. It looks like all of that foam has dissolved, so it's good to wrap. So she's over here trying to get a treat because I just gave her a treat. This is still wrapped, so don't freak out that I'm putting it on the ground. I'm gonna put, cotton right there. Good girl. Some cotton here. It's actually sticking pretty well. Cotton there. And then I think I might have grabbed too much mesh, but that's okay. Just gonna put some mesh on top of that to help maybe hold that a little bit better. I'm not a vet. I'm not a professional. Don't judge how I'm doing this. Get these bandages held in place. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Easy. What? Easy. Did I push it a little too hard? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mama. That scared the crap out of me because all I seen was her back leg come up at me. I must have pushed a little bit too hard. Sorry, Mama. I really am. I have to come out every single day to give her medicine, so I'm going to see it every day. If it comes loose, I can cut it off and redo it wherever it needs redone. But at least it's all bandaged up. When she jumped forward like that, like I said, the reason I jumped is because I was kind of getting ready to sit on the ground. My knees were giving out a little bit. And all I seen was her back leg come up. I didn't see her put her front leg forward. So out of the corner of my eye, I just seen her back leg come up. So, yeah. So, Abby, you're done for today. Can you go back to your sister? Go back to your sister? She zoomed in on your face, wasn't I? Here's what it's looking like. Alright. That is the 4th day of her injury and her first drop day. Okay, so not our biggest, brightest day. Not our best plan. I got her halfway back to the pasture. And this section was already completely off. Remember, it was all this color? That was already off. The wound was hanging out. So I put more, I packed a little more cotton in there. I put a half of a little roll of vet wrap on it. And then I did some elastic tape and electrical tape because that is a high movement area. So it's going to come loose. And then I'm always worried about over tightening it, but then I undo the vets and I'm like, holy crap, that's tight. So I think I'm good. Then as I went to stand up from doing that, she had her head turned like she just did. And I didn't know. I stood up as she came down to smell my head and I just popped her in the jaw of my head. So that felt great. Now we're going to go put her back. Alright, it's the next day. I came up to give this one her medicine. And like I thought yesterday, the cast was good, except for clear down there. It was rode all the way up, and her cut was already dirty, so I just cleaned it. I just had to come up here and redo it. And this part was all good, but I wanted to use the whole roll, and I didn't want to use it all in one spot and have like a big bulk. And I decided I'm just going to rewrap the whole thing. So this is on top of the bandage from yesterday, and there's more tape down here. And the only other thing I can think of is that this comes off down here again and that wound's hanging out again tomorrow when I come up to give medicine is wrapping underneath her hoof too. So we're going to try this. So Avalon's clear down here at the bottom. We're doing a bandage change because she run and played so much last night that the band-aid is coming up. It's not holding. So I'm going to start my truck. I don't want to walk all the way back down just to catch her. Hi. Hello. No, I don't. So I'm going to try and lead her up with my truck. Not sure how it's going to go because she doesn't pony very well, but we will see. We will see how you can do if I start the truck. So this goes. Oh, it's okay. There. And she's got a nice long lead rope, which I'm going to shorten to get her beside me, but if she like spooks for some reason, I don't have to worry. Alright, we're going to try this. Going into drive, and the only reason I'm doing this is because she's in a pasture. If she gets loose, she's probably going to come up to the trailer for cookies anyway. Alright, don't start moving. Come on. Come on, you gotta move. Not back up. Avalon. Trying to get her to turn here and walk. There you go. Good job. I'll give you a little break. Good job. Good job. All right, think you got it, kid? Let's go. Come on. There you go. Come on. There. Good job. I've done this with Kamani when she had colic before. Just to get her moving. I'm trying to film like this so I can pay attention to the road. Alright, I'm going to put you guys up. We're halfway up. I want to focus on her. So she made it up great. She actually started trotting past the truck even though I was going slow at one point. And then this one followed all the way up. Yes. So, I'm going to show you guys what the bandage is looking like. Move your big booty over, please. Thank you. So, if you guys can see, it's already come up from off there from last night. So I'm going to get that bandage off, we're going to cold hose it, and then I will show you guys what it's looking like. So I didn't film cutting that off because that was a nightmare. It had 2 days of wrap. You guys seen the video where I showed you where I rewrapped it, and then I had to rewrap it again the next day. And so I was trying to use both pairs of scissors, and it was working until she got impatient because Kamani kept trying to come underneath her thinking I had food, so I had to scare off Kamani. And then I'm like cutting clear down here where there's like nothing, right? And Avalon is just pulling back, acting like I'm cutting her open. So I'm freaking out that I'm hurting her when I'm not even close to anything. And then all of a sudden Kamani just jumps and Avalon jumps and almost lands on top of me. So I didn't film that, but I have not rinsed off her leg yet. This is what, oh, get that bug off there. This is what they're looking like. This one looks better to me. That one obviously is going to look really bad because that's the one that keeps getting uncovered. I think I'm going to have to wrap the bandage under her hoof like they would if she had an abscess. So I'm going to try that instead of multiple days of wrapping and then it gets so tight that it's hard to cut off. And then there's this one, which looks a lot better to me. Obviously the water is going to wash that off, but those two look smaller to me. So not the prettiest cast job. But when you have two horses trying to get your attention, she's twitching her leg because obviously it doesn't feel the best to be messed with. Oh, you do what you can. So I didn't do as much as I did last time with all the gauze and everything. I did gauze on each cut, and then I did the red vet wrap, and then I did the, I don't know what you would call it, it's just the elastitape here. And then I did a little bit of electric tape, and it's clear underneath her hoof. So like where she would go, yes, talking to you. So completely underneath her hoof where a shoe would go, so hopefully that'll hold a little bit better. And I didn't do as many layers this time because that last bandage I just took off was a pain to get off, especially with her moving. Kamani spooking. She didn't want to stand still. It hurts. Just not fun. So hopefully this one holds up better. I'm going to change it tomorrow, but so this lasted for that many days around the hoof. So just to make it last till tomorrow, I'm going to cut off this extra piece here and rewrap that because it's sticking out. Alright, got that chunk off and just until tomorrow. And I'm going to spray some of her medicine on that I have chose to put on there. Wrap it around her hoof again. I'll show you guys that when it's done. And then that's just going to hold till tomorrow when I have a little bit more time to change the entire bandage, cold hose her, and do all that stuff. Alright, that'll hold till tomorrow. It's wrapped underneath her hoof again. All the rest looks good. I added the black tape just because those pieces are starting to come off a little bit. And this will all be redone completely tomorrow. What are you doing? Are you being led by a pickup? What are you doing? Yeah. It is pouring down rain. It's starting to rain really, really hard. So I'm going to get this done as quickly as possible. Here's what her bandage is looking like. We're going to cut it off, get her leg hosed off, get the medicine on all the other spots. This is how her chest is looking. Don't really like how that's looking, but I'm going to send some pictures to the vet. So I'm not going to film cutting this off because it is raining and it takes way too long to do it. Anyway, let's get this cut off. I'll show you what the Windsor look like, and then I'll show you when it's all wrapped up. So I do not like this at all. That, to me, does not look good. Like, at all. It looks more swollen and it's oozing. That one's the one I'm concerned about the most. I don't like that. So I'm going to send pictures to my vet and see if they want me to continue to wrap it or not. And yeah. So I'm going to get that hose off. We're going to get medicine on it and rewrap it. So I called the vet. They sent me a number to send pictures to. So the reason that this is oozing and looks worse, in my opinion, to the last picture, because I sent them pictures, they said it looks worse too. And that is because proud flesh is coming in on that one. I kind of figured it would look a little more swollen, but I didn't expect the ooze. They want these 3 wrapped again for 3 days. Unwrap it, do what I've been doing, and then wrap it again for another 2 to 3 days, and then she should be done having it wrapped. So I put medicine on it. It's already dry. Poor girl is actually getting a little bit, lift your leg, lift your leg, lift your leg, come on. She's actually getting a little bit of a sore right there from the bandage, but the vet said she'll be okay. So let's get that rewrapped, and I'll show you when it's all wrapped. She is all wrapped up. There's 2 rolls of vet wrap because I ran out of the white bandage that's tape and bandage. And it is as far around and underneath her hoof as I can get it to get that bandage to stay there. But there is a lot of hills and stuff that she's going up and down to graze. So, yeah, she said every 2 to 3 days now instead of every 3 to 4. And then redo it, and then wrap it again for 2 or 3 days, and then unwrap it, and she should be all set to be no more wrapped. It's the next day. I came up to give her medicine, and she already got it halfway unwrapped here, and this has already come completely up. So I'm gonna just take this off and rewrap it. Yay. Come on. Even though I don't have a house runner, she has to be right here. Every day we do her medicine. And anytime I do her wrap, she's gotta be right here with us. So I'm gonna cut that off and get it rewrapped. So it's all hosed off and cleaned. I did something a little different. I wrapped the top 2 here and here separate. Left this part with no wrap, and then wrapped here and wrapped completely under the hoof. I've been kind of doing halfway and it rides up, so I wrapped all the way underneath the hoof and wrapped it backwards through the toe. So hopefully that'll hold at least another 2 or 3 days. Like the vet wants, either 2 or 3 days changed, washed, medicated, and then wrapped for another 2 or 3 days, and then she'll be done. So I'm hoping that'll last at least 2 more days. Then I can cut it off, wash it, medicate it, and do it all over again. And I don't know why all of a sudden this one has frickin' hives. Only thing I can think is she rolled in something. Ant's nest, bee nest. But luckily she likes the hive medicine and will eat it as a treat. So that's nice. Alright, these 2 are done for the day. I know. See, it's completely around her hoof. And then I wrapped it down the toe and back that way. So I know it's probably going to rip at the bottom, but I'm hoping it'll hold on a day or 2. So top one stayed on nice, but the bottom one already came completely off. I don't understand how it was wrapped completely around her entire foot, but I'm just going to put some gauze and some spray on, pull that back down, and rewrap it because it's supposed to last another day. All right, that's what we're dealing with now, and that's just gonna hold till tomorrow. And then tomorrow will technically be day 3 if you count the day that I wrapped it. I'll unwrap it, hose it all off, clean it all up, rewrap it. After 3 days, it'll be good. And here's what her stomach is looking at. Like, I think that looks a lot better. What still concerns me is how deep this is. Like, yeah, so I'm just putting medicine in that. Alright, we're doing our last bandage. She'll get to see the result of what it looks like. I'll cold hose it, rewrap it, and then in 3 days, she will be completely done with wrap. She just had her last dose of medicine. So yeah, let's get that unwrapped, which I'm not going to film because it just takes me forever. But alright, a little bit of swelling, and that is just because the wrap keeps sliding down no matter how tight I do it, how loose I do it, it keeps sliding. So there's going to be some swelling like right here. I don't know really how much you guys can even see. But here is how that is looking. This one's looking really good. It's not red anymore. That one's closing up. It's closing up pretty nice. And then this one looks really good to me. It looks smaller. Alright, she was super dusty, so I just gave her a quick hose off. And I cold hosed her leg for a good 5 minutes. I was trying to eat the garden instruments. And so I sprayed the hose at her to get her out of it. And this is what, yes, I see you. This is what she went and did. Alright, she's getting irritated by flies. I'm going to fly spray her here in a second. But I made a decision. So you guys just seeing those 2 cuts. This one and this one over here are still big and gaping. And after I cold hose them, they're bloody and they're oozy. This one is not. This one is also still not holding a bandage no matter how I wrap it. Yeah, you got an itch? She's all nudging me and trying to scratch. You got an itch? What are we doing? Okay. Anyways. So this one's not oozing. It's not a huge gaping wound. It's literally like a skin abrasion now. It's closed up so much. It doesn't bleed when I cold hose it. The bandage isn't staying on no matter what I do anyways. And then this is only supposed to stay on for another 3 days before she's completely done being wrapped anyways. So I am not going to wrap that bottom half. The other reasoning for that is no matter how I do my bandage, it's either too loose where it's rubbing or it's too tight where it's cutting. And so this part right here, I'm not sure if you guys can tell, this is all, it's a big cut. So don't. She just tried to nip my back. So I did give her a little pop, if that's what you heard. Anyways, so this is a cut. I can put my finger in it. I put some medicine on it. Not like a big, huge cut that needs stitches or anything. Nothing like these. It's just from where the bandage is rubbing. And from here down is staying swollen. So it's causing her more pain and discomfort to have that on. It's just balling up no matter how much I wrap that hoof and how much duct tape I put on. And how much electrical tape I put on. And she's going to be done in 3 days anyways. So I'm not going to wrap this one. I will cold hose it and put medicine on it when I take this off in 3 days, obviously. But I'm going to let that swelling just go away. If it was more open and bloody like the other 2 are, I would just suck it up and wrap it and keep coming up every day and cutting off that wrap and putting new wrap on like I have been. But it's not open and gaping like the other 2, so I'm not going to stress about it. It was in the beginning, but it's closed up a lot. Let's go get that last bandage off. What are you doing? You ready to get that band-aid off? You ready? That was dangerous, child. So I tried to pull in, and I had to chase them away a little bit from the gate because when I shut off my phone, they came closer. No big deal. And I pull in halfway, can't shut the gates because my truck is still halfway sticking out, and I'm laying on the horn. I'm literally like a foot from these 2, and they're just standing here like this. Like, Any other time a car passes them when I'm on them, and it's like the most terrifying thing ever. I'm laying on my horn a foot away from them, and they're just like, huh, what's that do? Well, so I had to get out and chase them a little bit up the road because they wouldn't move. And as I'm pulling in the rest of the way, I'm trying to hurry up and shut this gate so they don't go out, and they're trying to squeeze between the gate and my truck to get out on that road. Like right now, what are you freaking out about? See, there's literally nothing around, and these two are freaking out, but God forbid a truck horn is blowing in their face less than a foot away from them, and they don't give a shit. Just before I take off the bandage for inflammation, because she still has a little bit on her leg from the bandage, so just to help with that, we're going to give her some Butless, and she's doing so good with syringe medication. Come here, Abby. Bring your head over here. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Anybody who knows her knows when she had her ulcers, like, she about tore my arm out of my socket. So she is doing fantastic with medicine now. All done. Sent pictures to the vet. They said this is just new skin. That's why it's kind of looking like that. I'm not even sure if it'll focus for you guys. That one's all cleaned out. As good as I could. That one still looks a little gross to me, but going off by what vet said, it still has a lot of healing to do. Looks a lot better. Okay, so they each got a new fly mask. They got some burrs in their hair I gotta comb out, but here is what Avalon's leg's looking like after a week. Her chest looks really good. Here's that cut. It looks really good. It looks healed. This is from, I told you guys that bandage was cutting. That'll fall off. It feels like it's gonna come off. That's where the bandage was cutting. That looks really good, and that's almost completely gone. Her scars here are getting very faint, where you can barely see them. So yeah, she's looking great. The rest of Avalon's wounds are all scarred up and looking great. They just look like a big white scar, except for the ones I just showed you. And that one that's on her leg looks like it needs to shed. I tried to pick out a little bit. It's not quite loose enough to come off, but it is halfway off on each side. So it's not gonna stay on. It's gonna come off. They're looking for more treats because I don't have anything. I just gave them some alfalfa cubes. And so right now they're all over Mama. Where are the goodies, Mama? And she's trying to get into the truck, and she's nipping my shirt. She is smelling me up and down. Hi, girls. Her hives are gone except for on her hip, and all of her hives are gone, so I can ride her next time I come out. Got to get her hives taken care of and get them gone. They've been there all summer and they're not going away. Hi, Mama. Abby. So yeah, that's this video. Very long video, but it was 2.5 now. This is week 3. So 3 weeks of footage. A lot of editing. And pretty much for her, we're just waiting for that knee to completely seal up and it to be a scar before I ride her. And then Avalon will be good to ride because I just rubbed all over where the barbed wire had cut her on her ribs and it didn't bother her one bit. And then this one is good to go in a few days. It's just been really hot, so I'm not going to ride them today. I have some old hay in my truck, and for some reason they're wanting that instead of the good lush green grass. Weirdos. I literally just put their fly masks on. Hey, don't be ripping it. I just got that in the mail. Alright, that's this video. I'm going to go before she completely demolishes that brand new fly mask on my truck.